Welcome back to another episode of the Two Brothers Gaming Podcast. This is episode 168 here live with Ryland.
Yeah, we're live once again. We're gonna start going live every time we make episodes and stuff. Maybe possibly grow a little bit of a bigger audience because whenever we first started, we used to go live all the time. But it's been before this episode. It was like a year ago, like we last went live or whatever.
This is episode
But
80 and 81, I think. And then last
80, 81.
last week was 167.
Yeah, that's a little. It's a little while. Not much, too, you know. But before this episode starts, obviously join our Discord. You guys don't like our Discord, but go ahead and join. There's a lot of things we can do on Discord.
Yeah. Talk to you guys and hang out, movies, whatever.
Play games. There's a lot of things. But you guys don't want that. Because you guys don't like friends. That's why you're sitting on your mom's couch.
That's rough.
It is rough, but it's true. But we can go ahead and get started.
All right. So yesterday there was some just pictures, specs, and everything going around for the Asus ROG Ally 2. So the specs for it have apparently leaked.
Yeah.
Like these might not be true, but it's apparently leaked from the Xbox FCC certification. So it says the company will launch 2 models of the ROG Ally 2, which is officially named this way in the documentation. So it's officially named the ROG Ally 2 in the documentation that was leaked. And it says, as stated, there are 2 models, a black version and a white version. Apparently, the black version has a small difference. If you look closely, you'll notice a button that either doesn't appear with the logo or is used for a different purpose on the white model. That button is the Xbox button. So the pictures here, you can see that. It says the news comes from 91 Mobiles, which discovered entries for the device at the Indonesian certification office and linked them to a US FCC listing. They found that 2 models are in development. It says we also have partial specs, which revealed that the Black Edition does seem to be a lot higher in system. It features Ryzen Z2 Extreme with 8 cores and TDP of 36 watts, and it comes with LPDDR5 8533 memory. The listing says 2048 M.32, which indicates 64 gigabyte capacity for RAM. However, later it says Micron 32 gigabyte. The white model, on the other hand, is using AMD Aerith Plus, a successor of Van Gogh Steam Deck, with 4 cores and 20 watt TDP. It should have 16 gigabytes of RAM, respectively. It's unclear whether Microsoft plans to launch an Xbox OS for gaming handhelds. More likely, this version will offer deeper integration with the Xbox ecosystem, possibly through a dedicated button to launch the Xbox app on Windows. This is, of course, speculative at this point. FCC certifications relate to Wi-Fi modules, and these photos were included in reports from Asus and MediaTek. We learned that the ROG Ally 2 will have a redesigned exterior resembling a gaming controller, and the back features larger grips, though the screen bezels remain as large as those on the original model and the ROG Ally X. Unfortunately, there are no photos showing the device powered on, so it's unclear if the screen has been updated. So I don't know if you've seen pictures of this, but it basically looks like an Ally, but with controller handles. So it actually has controller handles.
Oh, so
better ergonomics.
Like that?
Yeah.
Like actual controller handles.
Yeah.
Also, it's going to be like, even though the Ally is already comfy by itself, it's going to be even more easier to hold and stuff now.
Yeah. So basically, it's going to be just like this, except for controller handles coming down to actually grip. So this is the actual Ally here. It's going to have handles grip right here, like actual controller instead of these little bumps. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Apparently, it's just rumored at this point, but this is leaked. It could be something that they'll scrap, or we don't know. It says the system includes 2 USB Type-C connectors on the top. Side view photos show the thickness of the new handheld. From this angle, it looks quite bulky, though in practice may not be as bad. says Asus will most likely announce the new handhelds at Computex 2025. They have also been spotted at the Korean Radio Research Agency, meaning they've certified in 3 countries within a few weeks. So, with there be 2 different models, one being a black and white, and then it says the black is the more powerful version, has an Xbox logo on it. A lot of people are saying that this is the Xbox handheld. I don't think it is. I think this is just one that Xbox is like helping them make, corresponding with them to make it.
Yeah.
That way, I think this is their Xbox's test run of an Xbox ecosystem on Windows on a handheld. So this is their way of
Yeah.
testing those waters with that.
I mean, it
I
could,
don't
help them, figure out what they're gonna do with the Xbox handheld that they're making as well, everything
right.
like that.
So I don't think this is
Like,
the Xbox handheld that Xbox is actually making. I think this is just one that Xbox is helping Asus make, and Asus is helping them test the Xbox operating system on a Windows handheld PC. So I think we'll still get the Xbox handheld from Xbox. This is not it, but this is just the Ally 2.
yeah, I'd
Still
say.
pretty cool. Still pretty cool. But, um, good. Rylan. Rylan's having difficulties, I believe. Or is it me? Nope, it's Rylan. Let me go on a quick break, see if I can get Rylan back. I think his internet went out, but we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back. Ryland's internet went out because it started hailing, but he's all right.
Yeah, my Starlink committed, but we're back.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and move on to our second topic. GTA 6 is delayed until May 2026.
Oh, so there's not much here. It's just saying Rockstar Games has announced that Grand Theft Auto 6 will be delayed until May 26th of next year, so 2026. A new trailer showcasing impressive animation quality was released on May 6th, 2025, despite disappointment. And the set date allows studios to plan their own releases.
Did you watch the trailer?
So I haven't watched the trailer
I
yet.
haven't watched it either, but I did see that it said that it involved cutscenes and some gameplay. So
Heck yeah. Oh no, I did see though that the gameplay was actually shot on the PS5.
hmm.
So everything you see from that gameplay is from the PS5. Like how good the quality was. I seen a little bit. Like the quality was really good and stuff.
Yeah,
But that was all on the PS5.
I
The
think.
regular PS5, not the Pro either.
Oh, I'm pretty sure at launch, like it's only going to be on the Xbox Series and PS5. Like it's not going to be a PC yet or anything.
Hmm.
No last gen. I don't think even the Switch 2 has announced yet. But we can move on then. Xbox has announced Gears of War Reloaded.
Reloaded like Fortnite? Reload?
Yeah.
But it says here Gears of War Reloaded announced for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 5 for uh no, August 26th, obviously this year. Time to break out Mad World by Gary Jules again as Xbox Game Studios developers the Declaration Sumo Digital and Disbelief have dropped a bombshell with Gears of War Reloaded. Why is it a bombshell? Because not only is coming to the Xbox Series, Game Pass, and PC, but it's also coming to Steam as well, and for the first time, PlayStation,
That's crazy.
which is so weird.
It's a remake of the first Gears of War game, and it's coming to PS5 on launch day. Like,
That's awesome.
Xbox, no exclusives anymore. Like, if
Yeah.
they're releasing a Gears
Forza,
of War
Forza
game,
Horizon 5, it's on
I
PS5.
know.
I
If they're
seen.
releasing a Gears of War game on launch day, yeah, it's a remake of the first one, but still, on launch day on the PS, like Xbox is done with exclusives.
Yeah, that's just crazy. But it says here, the celebration of one of gaming's most iconic franchises, Gears of War Reloaded, is a remaster of the 2006 classic. So it's going to be the original Gears of War with supporting 4K resolution, 120 frames per second, and the ultimate multiplayer experience with cross progression, cross-play across all platforms. So it's not going to be just like your platform, your console. You're going to be able to play with PC, Xbox, PlayStation.
Yeah,
So that's pretty.
crossplay across all consoles. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. It says here also, Xbox fans who own the digital version of Gears of War Ultimate Edition will receive a free upgrade to this new version of the game.
Oh, that's cool. You don't have to buy it again, which I mean, it's included in Game Pass day one. So if you have Game Pass, you already have the game. But
I mean, yeah, you're spending like $15 for hundreds and hundreds of games.
yeah,
So,
including
I
Black Ops
mean,
6.
yeah, that's a steal. That's such a
Oh yeah,
steal.
$70 game.
Yeah. But it says here, as we approach the 20th anniversary of Gears of War in 2026, we're reflecting on what this franchise means, says Mike Crump Studio, head of Coalition. It's about the stories we've told, the friendships we built, and the unforgettable moments we've shared together. With Gears of War Reloaded, we're opening the door to more players than ever. Hinting, the crossplay. Again, it's on PS5 now, which is weird as crap.
Yeah.
But we're gonna obviously have to get used to these Xbox exclusives coming over the other platforms. It might be on Switch soon enough. You never know when Switch 2 comes out.
It might. Xbox and Nintendo have a pretty close relationship here recently, anyway. So, yeah, it might come to Switch too eventually.
But it says here, Gears of War Reloaded includes the full wealth of content from the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, allowing players to access to all launch downloadable content. Like you get all of your downloadable content at launch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At no additional cost.
Nice.
So you don't have to spend any more money at least, for say I'm guessing maybe DLCs or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it says here, this includes the bonus campaign act, all multiplayer maps, modes, and a full roster of classic characters and cosmetics unlockable throughout the progression. So that's pretty neat. You get everything with the Ultimate Edition. All
Very nice.
downloadable content. So that's pretty cool.
Yep, for sure.
That's all I have for that.
All right. Well, guys, that's all the topics we have. We appreciate you for listening. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but for those of you listening, you don't know because we'll edit it out. But for those of you who watch live, sorry for the difficulty. But
blame the whip.
Yeah. But we appreciate you for listening or watching. Follow all of our podcast socials, our Twitch Kick YouTube accounts, our personal Twitch Kick YouTube account, our podcast Discord, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yep.
All that crap.
Just about everything.
Yeah.
Yep, just about everything.
Our merch on TeePublic. If you noticed, all of our episodes have that deleted except for one. It's because we switched podcasting hosts, and should work itself out. If not, I'll call them tomorrow. But just for the importing of the RSS feed, it should work itself out, and all our episodes will be back if you want to listen to our back catalog.
Yeah.
But that's what's going on if you noticed that. But Rylan, do you have anything else?
As Ashton said, join our Discord, follow our personal socials, podcast socials, follow our sports podcasts also. Get some merch as well. Can't skip out on that merch.
Yeah.
Best merch ever. But make sure to just do all that. And guys, I guess that's it.
All right. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you next week.